Let's do a quick continuation on the highlighter exhibit in the back to school section of the ShoeZeum. We just did a video on the men's Air Max 95 360 highlighter packs from 2006 alongside the toddler pair of Little Max 95s. In this video, I want to show you 3 more pairs of Air Maxes that were on display alongside all of these highlighters. Actually, we're going to look at 2 different models, and one of the models has 2 different colors. First up front is the Air Stab. This shoe was designed by Tinker Hatfield. It originally released in 1988, just 1 year after the original Air Max, which was the first sneaker ever to have visible air. Now, you'll notice that there are teeth stabbing through the air bubble in the Air Stab, and I think it's really cool that 1 year after unveiling visible Nike Air, Nike was already tinkering with the air bubble and stabbing teeth through it. Now, stab is short for stability, and like we said, this shoe came out in 1988, and that was actually the same year as the Just Do It ad campaign, which became Nike's tagline, and here we are in 2015, all these years later, and Just Do It is still one of the most iconic things that any brand has ever uttered. I picked up this pair of shoes at a store in San Diego called Shoe Metro. I used to run an eBay resale business, and there was a sneaker shop also selling shoes on eBay called Shoe Metro, and it was located just north of San Diego. And they had like way more feedback than me and way more shoes for sale. And I actually went to that store. They had a storefront where they were allowing customers to come in and try on and buy shoes. And I went there to buy this pair of shoes, but more than anything else, I was going there to like spy on their operation. Unfortunately, they wouldn't let me out of the retail side and back into the warehouse. What I really wanted to see was them fulfilling orders. And it's funny because after I bought this shoe, I like drove circles around Shoe Metro trying to like look everywhere to learn where they got their shoes and how they did what they did. Today they're called Apparel Slave on eBay, and they have 1.75 million feedback. Like outrageous. The other shoes that we're going to look at I also purchased in San Diego. Let's move the Stab and have a look at the next couple pairs, which are the Air Max Lights in 2 different colors. And these shoes were also designed by Tinker Hatfield. The Air Max Light originally released in 1989, and it's sort of an aggressive version of an Air Max 1 with sort of bits and pieces of the Air Max 90 on there as well. Of course, you've got this iconic visible air bubble that came out in 87. Now here we are 2 years later in 89. This shoe was called the Air Max Light because it was more lightweight than the original Air Max. And the bits and pieces of this shoe that I think really resemble the Air Max 90 are, of course, this plasticky part, but also the aggressive slant of the swoosh and just the general upper. The shoe like looks like it's moving even when it's standing still. I picked up this pair of shoes at the Nike outlet for $34.99. Now actually it was at the clearance store at Viejas. When I bought this shoe, they converted from a regular outlet store into a clearance store, and all the shoes were marked down to really, really cheap. And like I said, these were $34.99. When I was banned from Nike in 2009, the first place I went shopping was in my own warehouse. And I went through all these racks of shoes. I had 15,000 pairs. And I started pulling all of them in my size that I thought were cool. And that's where I got both of these Air Max Lights that I originally purchased at the Nike clearance store when they were marked down from 50 bucks to 35 bucks. We'll move this pair out of the way, and by the way, there was another colorway, the same color as this shoe, on an Air Trainer Huarache that I also was picking up at the clearance store and selling on eBay, but I didn't keep one and display it in the ShoeZeum. And lastly, another pair of Air Max Lights, also in sort of neon colors. I thought these shoes looked really nice on display next to all of these highlighters. And same thing, originally bought them at the clearance store and ended up going shopping in my own warehouse once Nike banned me. And I'm glad I did, because the 95 360s and the toddler pair in back are cool, but it's really awesome to have all of these different shoes to put on display with the highlighters. So there we go, that rounds out the highlighter exhibit. Next up, we'll start talking about crayons. We've done pens, we've done pencils, we've done glue, we've done chalk, we've done highlighters. We've got a lot more to come in the back to school video series. See you soon.